All right, it is movie review time again, and last night I took the opportunity to watch the Netflix movie Nowhere. Now, it has been out for a few weeks, but I finally was able to sit down and watch it, and I felt like this movie really went nowhere. Quick synopsis: it's about a husband and wife whose country's government has fallen. The new government is unaliving women and children, and they're desperate to escape. They make an escape by getting into a shipping or cargo container. They end up getting separated along the route. The container she is in gets stopped. They discover that the people are in there. They unalive everybody but her. And then they put the container on a ship, and somehow all the containers end up in the ocean, and she's floating there by herself. Water is seeping in, and she is pregnant. So during this time, she actually gives birth to the child. So it's her and the child all alone, trying to survive, trying to use her cell phone to hopefully get in touch with her husband, and all this sort of stuff. And again, it really just didn't work for me. The first part was pretty interesting, and I know this is when it should have gotten really, really interesting, intense once she got into the ocean and she had the child. But to me, that's where it just started to fall apart. I had a hard time watching it. It just got kind of boring. The dialogue was not the best, but again, I understand she's by herself, so she's just talking to herself and the baby, so it doesn't have to be complicated. And I know you've got to have things for her to encounter problems and issues and things that if we were in this situation, we probably would really encounter, but I don't know. It just felt like it just piled on and piled on. And again, I know you do that to drive the story. Otherwise, it would be boring, but it was kind of boring to me anyway. So it reminded me of the movie Inside from earlier this year with Willem Dafoe. Very similar in some senses that Willem Dafoe was trapped in an apartment/condo and she was trapped inside a shipping container, but I didn't like Inside either. In fact, I only give Inside a little more advantage over this one because it had Willem Dafoe in it. So I can't recommend this movie. I noticed that it had 5 writers credited on the screenplay, and I've said this before. When you get over around 2, a max of 2, it's usually not a good sign for the movie. And to me, this proves it again. Just 5 writers credited, not a good movie. If you want to watch it, give it a try, but I don't recommend it. I can only give it 1 out of 5 stars.